somebody else can help me. Maybe somebody else has been there that knows the way. I don't mean to cry.
Hi, we're here in Burlington, Wisconsin with Almost Famous Video Review Magazine and the Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner. We're here with Eric Crawley from the band Crawley. Hi, Eric.
Hello.
So, is this your first time in Wisconsin?
It is. It absolutely is. I've been to Chicago a few times, but this is the first time I came this far.
Now, we reviewed Eric and the band Crawley for the magazine Milwaukee Rock Music Examiner, and you could see him on Reverb Nation. Just search Crawley. Now, could you give us a little history of your band and your band members, please?
Well, Chuck Mingus is the guitarist. He was formerly in Days of the New. He toured with them for about a year and a half. And Mike, my drummer, was the bassist in Days of the New. And he toured on 2 albums with them. Toured with Creed and Def Leppard. So these guys have been around. I kind of lucked into it. I worked with Chuck, and I had one song, 1,000 Miles Away,
Okay.
that I wrote, and it was unfinished. And I called him up and said, dude, help me out here, help me finish this. He came over, man, I'm serious. It was like 15 seconds. This guy
just clicked,
He just knew, he knows where to go, So we wrote that one, did a video, hired a model, rented a camera and shot the video. And they all loved it so much that they're
And
like,
the
okay.
video we could catch on YouTube?
Yeah, you can just search Crawley 1,000 Miles Away. It's on YouTube. But anyway, they liked the song, they liked what I could do, so they tested me. They said, well, here's 3 songs, what can you do with this? And it's just, since then, it's just been one after another,
Now, my favorite songs, Maybe. Can you give us a little history behind that song?
Well, that song Chuck wrote, the guitar. I wrote all the lyrics and
Okay.
the melody for the lyrics, but all the music was written by Chuck, and that song itself, it's kind of funny when we first did it. The drummer and the bassist, they was like, man, we can't do this song. We can't do this song. It's too happy, It's like we can't do it. So after I laid the vocals down and Chuck had added the electric, they're like, oh wow, this is totally different.
Yeah, I think that's the radio hit for sure. And High and Low, the title track, is also an incredible
Well, see,
track.
the whole album was basically written with that theme, the high and low, talking about your life being here sometimes and your life's here sometimes. And that song in High and Low was written about my mother.
Oh, wow.
She passed away in June from cancer, so I wrote that song while she was still here.
Oh, I'm sorry to
and she
hear
got to hear
that.
it, so that was great.
Yeah,
she
that's
really
wonderful.
Loved it. Really loved it.
Sorry for your loss, but at least you have that song to last forever and the memories. Another thing I wanted to ask you, Eric, is how did you get started in music?
A buddy of mine, we were probably 12-ish, guitarist friend of mine, he started playing guitar. And we were best friends, so I was like, okay, well, I'll get a guitar. So I started playing that. So I was a guitarist first. We couldn't find a bassist, so I started playing bass. So I played bass in that band, and I was 15. We did a battle of the bands at the Custom Auto Show. 1,000 people out
Louisville?
there. Yeah, I'm 15 years old out there, and 1,000 people. It was awesome.
You were probably hooked from then on.
I was somewhat, but we broke up shortly thereafter, and I just played around on the guitar for years, never did anything with it.
Now, you said you actually became a vocalist by accident?
Yeah, it was. I did stand-up for years, but we'll talk about that later. But I came back. I lived in Vegas for a couple years. When I came back, I started a new job, just a temp job, just something, just get myself back in the market. And guy I was working with was a drummer, and like I said, we were hanging out over his house in the basement drinking beers, and he throws an Alice in Chains CD, and I'm singing that with him, going back and forth. He's like, dude, man, that was pretty good. He's like, I'm a drummer, I got a buddy of mine's a bassist, let's do something. So it's like, all right, and we did it was metal, progressive metal, kind of in a...
What was the name of that group?
Sons of the Bluegrass.
Sons of the Bluegrass, okay.
And it's not a bluegrass band.
I say life's too short to live all alone inside your head. Lesson learned that life is what you make. Path to take, or am I too late?
just what you make. Pack the tape, or am I too late? I know you're 1,000 miles away. I don't care, I'm on my way. Where you going? Where you been? I'd leave everything behind.
Okay, Sons of the Bluegrass was, could you describe it a
That
little?
was prog metal, progressive metal, borderline death a little bit. So some growls and screaming and stuff like that. I was a backup singer, backup guitarist in that band.
Now, Crawley seems a little bit more mellow, but still hard rock, but I get a little bit of a Leonard Skinner type
Yeah.
feel, 38. Could you tell me a little bit about the recording of the CD, please?
Yeah, we recorded this, and Bill Goins, the bassist, has a studio in his basement. So this was all done by Crawley. We did everything, all the mixing, all the mastering, all the production, everything.
Excellently recorded
And these
CD.
guys, man, they're obsessed about it. You know, I mean, they take it, when they were mixing it, they would take it from vehicle to vehicle and listen to it in each vehicle, and then listen to it in the house stereo, listen to it on
this
a
is a top
boombox,
recording.
listen to it here. And then, in order to get it where they wanted it to be right on all of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
To where you didn't have to get in your car, adjust the bass, get in your car, adjust the
Now,
adjust the
where
mid.
can your fans and your new fans get the CD or the digital download?
CDbaby.com is the main site where we're with, but they've shopped that out everywhere. So that's iTunes, Rhapsody, Amazon. I can't even think of all the sites, but the main site you would get it if you wanted to download it would be CDbaby.com, because on there.
And then you just search Crawley,
You search
Crawley.
Yeah, Crawley high and low, and it'll pop up quicker. But on there, the download for the whole CD is $4.99. If you get it on iTunes, it's like $9.99. So
Okay.
I would push iTunes, but I'd rather the customer get a better deal on it.
Now, earlier we were talking, and you said you had a little bit of history with stand-up comedy.
I did, actually, a lot of history. I started that when I was 4.
Wow.
Yeah, I started being a
It's
comedian.
about Nevaeh's age here.
No, I was always, my family, it was just everybody's got this sense of humor, you know. So from a little kid, I've always been, you know, driven towards comedy and entertaining. But I did, I was probably 27. I kind of got forced into it. Somebody rented out the party room on top of an apartment complex, like
Okay.
their main party room. It's like $200 this guy put up for it, and was like, dude, you're doing it, whether you like it or not. So
Isn't Larry the cable guy down there? Did you ever meet him?
No, he's not from Kentucky as far as I know, but he's got that, you know, the Kentucky kind of sound
Right,
to it.
right.
But
Exactly.
I did that. I did my first show, it was probably 27, and then I did that for 8 or 10 years. I did mostly charity events. I would put them together myself, rent out a hotel, and, you know, all kinds of people are willing to be involved with that, you know.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you have a pretty good network down there in Louisville.
Yeah,
then.
yeah, a lot of family, a lot of friends that got into that, so I did that. But then I moved to Vegas. When I was living in Vegas, I went to L.A. to Laugh Factory.
Oh wow, that's quite
Did
an
a show. That was an
accomplishment.
open mic, but it was fun.